14. We are present in Nashville, Tennessee for a hearing before the Tennessee Department of Commerce and Insurance to hear the case of Christopher P. Vick, docket number 12.29-123-477J. I am Ann Johnson. I've been appointed by the Secretary of State to preside over this hearing under the authority of the Administrative Procedures Act. If anyone has cell phones well, I know you have cell phones, but I would ask that you turn them to silent or turn them off so that our hearing is not interrupted. The state is the petitioner in this case. The state is represented by Mr. Jesse Joseph, who is present. The respondent, Christopher Vick, as far as I know, is not present, and I can see he isn't, but still I'll ask for the record. Is Mr. Vick here, or is there an attorney present on his behalf? It appears that there is not. At this time, I need to, so Mr. Vick is not present for the hearing. I need to designate the technical record, which consists of the notice of hearing and charges, an amended notice of hearing and charges, and the state's proposed witness and exhibit list. At this time, I'd like to swear in the witnesses, or the witness, who I believe is Ms. Nicole Avers. Ms. Avers, if you'll raise your right hand, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you provide in this hearing will be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. All right. I've completed those preliminary matters. Mr. Joseph, since Mr. Vick is not present, do you have a motion?
Yes, Your Honor. I have evidence in the way of a certified mail sent, which was received by my office, which corresponds and it reflects that the notice of hearing and charges was received and signed by an Austin Vick, who checked the box as the respondent's agent at the 1019. And we'd like to mark this as exhibit number 1, and pursuant to service at his listed address by his agent,
And what day was that signed? Was it delivered?
It was delivered on December the, I'm sorry.
All right. I will, this is already marked as Exhibit 1, so I will designate it as such. The proof of service document, I will hold the respondent in default since he received adequate notice and did not appear for the hearing. And Mr. Joseph, I will allow you to proceed with an uncontested case if you wish.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state would so request, and we certainly appreciate that. Briefly, Your Honor, in the way of opening, as Your Honor is aware, this is a notice of hearing and charges against the respondent, Christopher State's proof will show that the respondent was initially licensed as a home on March 30th of 2014. State's proof will further show that the respondent is the registered agent and member of Reliant Home Services, LLC, show that to date the respondent does not currently have all required that the department's executive director, Mrs. Avers, the commissioner's designee, sent the also enclosed for him an inactive form for him to submit. Also show that the respondent did not respond to the June 21st, 2013 letter, and on July essence, the proof will show that through the present, the respondent has continued to fail all the proof which the state submits will be proven by. The state submits that the respondent will have violated Tennessee Code annotated or individuals who violate any provisions of this part of the commissioner's rules, or for failing to continuously maintain the insurance. Also show that the respondent will have violated Tennessee Code annotated 62. Liability, and the department's rule 0780-5-12.043 as a current general liability certificate in an amount of $500,000. Based upon the proof that revocation of the without the assessment of civil penalties, given the respondent's failure to submit
Thank you, Mr. Joseph.
documents that we have received from the Secretary of State's office are certified copies of corporate documents of calls. We've seen this before. I would certify them, and they simply certify that the company the certified copies to reflect, but all I can do as counsel for the state is to request certified copies.
All right, we'll mark this as collective exhibit number 2.
Thank you.
I mean, it is marked. We will designate it as such.
Thank you. We will now.
$500 James Robertson Parkway, Nashville, Tennessee.
How long have you been? Our executive director for the Home Inspector Licensing Program.
See the licensing and renewal functions for the program. I process the complaints, and I am the official custodian of record. Only as a licensee.
And is the respondent a licensed home inspector program, rather?
Home inspector program, correct.
Okay. What is the respondent?
$746.
And when was he first issued this license?
July 31st, 2008.
And when does his license?
I'm sorry, I misspoke. It's March 31st, 2008 on the last answer.
Which was when he was first issued the license?
Correct. March 30th, 2014.
What is the respondent's last known address on file with your office?
1019 Long Hunter Chase Drive, Spring Hill, Tennessee.
According to the documentation which is included within your licensing and
Reliant Home Inspection.
what is the address for this business?
1019 Long Hunter Chase Drive,
In what city?
Spring Hill, Tennessee.
As of the summer of 2013, Mrs. Avers, what did your office's records reflect the status of the respondent?
Fired. This is a letter sent out from our office to Reliant Home Inspection, Christopher Vick, on June 21st, 2013, indicating that our records showed that his general liability and errors and omissions insurance were scheduled to expire on June 19th, 2013, and giving him 10 business days to make the insurance whole.
Did you send that letter, ma'am?
Yes.
Your Honor, we asked that the June 21st,
Granted.
thank you.
June 19th, 2013.
And what is your opinion now as to when that insurance expired?
Subsequent to that time, we requested additional information from the insurance companies and found out that the insurance was canceled before that date.
What
That's the information that we had on file for his expiration dates.
for workers?
Yes.
Exhibit number 3. Did you enclose anything further within this letter to the respondent?
With the letter, we sent out a copy of a form that would allow the licensee to place their license into inactive status if he'd like.
Did you ever receive any response from the respondent or in the way of updated insurance?
No.
Did you ever receive an inactive form for the
Complaint file was opened and an additional letter was sent to the respondent. Yes, this is the notification of complaint dated July 10th, 2013, notifying him of complaint, which is signed by Ms. Aman Youssef, who is my complaint coordinator and administrative assistant.
Is there anything else?
Certified mail card is attached.
Is this your office's July 10th, 2013 certified mail letter sent to the respondent?
Granted.
Appraisers, after your office opened the July 10th, 2013 complaint against the receiver from the respondent to the complaint,
No.
did you receive any evidence of updated request to take inactive status?
No.
Document I'm showing you now for identification.
This is a notification of cancellation from Erie Insurance. The cancellation date for the insurance has an effective of April 8th, 2013.
And what type of insurance policy does,
General liability.
and how did you first come to?
It was provided by the insurance company to our offices.
And does this document
Yes.
do you maintain a true and correct copy of this document within your
Yes.
Your Honor, we ask that the cancellation
Brandon?
waivers, I present you with a copy of the state's
This is a certificate of a liability accord from Insurance Intermediaries Incorporated, indicating Insured Reliant Home Services, LLC, DBA Reliant, with the respondent's address and his owner member name, Christopher Vick, on it, which indicates an errors and omissions expiration date of April 30th, 2013. Provided to us by the insurance company.
And is your department,
Yes.
do you maintain a true and correct copy of this ACORD?
Grant this, but I might have a question for Ms. Avers after you get through.
Okay. Mrs. Avers, when you have respondents when you receive certificates of liability insurance of this nature and also copies of how are they addressed with respect to the insured in many instances? That is, this particular case, how are you able to attribute exhibits 5 and 6 to the respondent?
Christopher Vick. We license individual home inspectors, and his business address includes the Reliant Home Inspection. Reliant Home Inspection.
And six.
Yes, it's down towards the bottom of the page in the description of operations. Yes. No.
And have you received any?
Okay, thank you. I think I understand this now. On Exhibit 5, oh, never mind, I understand that too. And my only other question had to do with the signatures that we've gotten on that you presented on the certified mail receipts. Austin Vick is described as an agent, and so is Nicole Vick. Ms. Avers, how do you know that they're agents of the company?
I didn't indicate them as agents. That's how it was marked on
Okay,
the certified mail
On
card.
the certified mail card, as far as Austin, but what about Nicole? Do you know anything about who she is or her connection to the company?
I don't have any relationship with the Vicks. I didn't mark it on either one of theirs. We typically mark with an X the certified mail, but we don't mark that portion of our certified mail card. That would be for the postal carrier to do.
But you're assuming since she has the same last name and she resides at evidently was found at the same address, that she had some connection to the respondent. Is that right?
I think that's a reasonable assumption that they would have some kind of familial relationship.
I had one more question. So you made the statement that you license individual home inspectors. Do you license their companies or just the individuals themselves?
We don't license companies, we license individuals.
Okay.
It's my understanding that he has a business license, state's office, but
Right.
that's not done through our office.
Right.
Professional license is just for the individuals.
Okay. So just to be clear, this case then is against Mr. Vick himself.
Mr. Vick himself.
Okay. All right. I think those are all of my questions. Mr. Joseph, do you have any redirect for Ms. Avers?
Not really, Your Honor. I think she's answered my questions, and Your Honor.
Right. And before you start and you may go over this again, before you start your closing, the state is requesting revocation of the license and assessment of costs of administration and hearing, but no civil penalties. Have I got that right?
That's correct.
Okay, got it.
That's all we're requesting. Briefly in closing, Your Honor, and we don't want to rehash the proof or rehash what we have. As to the issue of the manner in which the accord certificate or the cancellation notice was sent out, I do that the insurance may be issued in the name of the
Right, I understand.
and I just wanted to, it would have been clearer had his name specifically been shown in the insured block. But at this juncture, the state, notwithstanding the fact that the respondent has not appeared today,
Thank you, Mr. Joseph.
And I have these.
Okay, great. I will enter this into the technical record, and I appreciate this. As you know, my order will be due in 90 days, but with what I'm sure is an excellent proposed order, with any luck, I can get it out much quicker than that, so we can get this case closed. Of course, if either party wants to appeal, the appeal provisions will be sent with that initial order. Anything else before we close?
Thank you, Your Honor. I think that takes care of us today.
All right, thank you.
Finished by 2 o'clock.
How about that?